Pazzi, how can you bottle that performance from Madison Square Garden the other night and get it every night from your group? I assume you liked a lot of what you saw other than the result.
We're improving. Every game we're getting better. So the way I see it is we're building, we're teaching components of the game in all three zones. In every game, regardless of the score, when we look at those components, we're improving. We're improving. And I think what we're seeing right now is they understand more and more. And we know it takes time. Sometimes it takes more time for certain components than others. But they understand a little bit more of the routes, the systems, offensively and defensively. And now that they understand, they can play faster. So what we saw in New York was a real good game. And the way they played for all three periods, managing the score, managing the game, managing the puck, what the chances that we gave up, the chances that we created. It's been an interesting process, but I see a lot of positive in how we've played. Even the previous games, there's a few things that we see that are a little bit better. And then once we're going to be able to put all the pieces together, I think we're going to be defending well, and we're going to be a team that can create offense as well.
You've got your check back here and back in the lineup tonight, correct?
Yeah.
What does he need to do to stay here and stay in the lineup? What do you need to see?
Well, we have 8 defensemen that can play, and for him, our goal. So we have a vision for our team. We want to make the playoffs, but we also have a vision for especially our younger players. If one game he doesn't play, we want him to play a game somewhere else. So it's very important to us to protect those guys and make sure that they play minutes. They need to be put in situations where they have the puck and it matters. Like practices, you can't replicate anything. Well, you can try, but the pressure, the mental side of it is not the same in practices than in games. So any of those guys, and I've seen it in the past with different organizations, especially those guys that don't require waivers, if you can send them down and up, it's not a demotion, it's not a punishment, it's just investing in the player. So he's there right now. What he needs to do, I mean, we have a plan for him, how he's going to get better. He's obviously a good player, but if one game we feel he's not playing here, and he needs to play a few games in Cleveland, we're not afraid of doing that. I think he's going to benefit from it.
In the first 15 games for you guys, you've had a number of leads obviously slip away in late going, like in the third. And I remember you talking earlier this year just about that mentality of trying to stay on the attack, even when you have a lead, and how that's difficult. I'm wondering where you guys are on that process. Is that what we're seeing a little bit? Is that kind of conflict of maybe just staying back on the heels a little bit too much? Or
well, so when we look at the teams that are coming back from behind, and it's consistent across the league. Like you're trailing by 1 or 2 goals, teams are coming back. It's not so much on the team that has that is trailing that changes their mindset. It's the team that has the lead, right? So we're talking about this, being on your heels, changing, not trying to make plays, just chipping the puck out. We want to get away from that. And we'll need some success to reinforce that kind of behavior. Last game, we were doing a good job. Even though we spent more time in our D zone, we know there's going to be some kind of a switch in the game. Teams will adjust. They'll push 2 men instead of just 1 man. They'll be more aggressive on their forecheck. They'll take chances. So for us being in a position where we had success until the 11th second, and it's just a face-off. We lost a face-off, and there's 2 at the net, and then it's a team that can score goals, obviously. But I think we're getting there. We just don't want to be on our heels and just thinking defense when we have the lead. We still want to create offense. We still want to manage the puck in a smart way. But we still want to be a team that it has the confidence to play the proper way. And my mindset, and call me crazy, but my mindset is playoff hockey. That's all I think about. How we're playing today, is it going to reflect success in the playoffs whenever we get there? And having the lead in the playoffs, you need to keep it. You need to protect it. But you need to expand on it. Like you need the next goal. You need that goal that's going to kill the opponents any chances to come back. So we're getting there, and that's why the season is a huge opportunity for us to grow and learning from those moments. I don't see it. Yeah, we didn't win the game, but you can see it as a failure or as an opportunity to grow and to learn from it. And I think we're getting better. Every game we're getting better.
I think kind of just building off that, that's what I was going to ask about was, it's kind of a two-sided coin, right? Like you have the lead. People are going to look at it and say, well, they lost these points, 5 of them or whatever it is. But that was also 5 chances that you had the lead. If it goes the other way, you're in a different spot in the standings right now, right?
Well, first of all, to be in that position to have the lead, it means that we've done a lot of good things. Now it's just tweaking a few things, and it's a belief system. Just having that trust, that confidence, the job will get done, and we need some success doing it. Once you have some success, you build on that, and it becomes a habit.
As you've dropped Gaudreau, I think this is the second game he's lower in the lineup. You're trying anything to get him going, I assume, but is it to take pressure off him? Is it to give him a chance to focus on different elements of his game? Or what do you see as his way out of this?
It's not about Johnny, Portsy. It's not about Johnny. It's about Johnny. It's about all of them, but it's about the team and trying to manage, create a little bit more offense, having the weapons on different lines. I think Sillinger is playing extremely well, and I think we could build something there. Having Patrick and Boone Jenner together, we could create something there. Obviously, Fantilli, Voronkov, and Marchenko, there's chemistry between those 3 guys. And I think our Kirill line was one of our best, if not one of the best, the last 4 or 5 games. And Danforth there, they're not only good at creating momentum, but they're good at creating offense too. So it's just a matter of balance. And also, when you look at the matchups, the other team will have to make decisions. Do they try to defend Patrick more than Johnny, or you look at the Voronkov line and Fantilli, and maybe that's the line you need to pay more attention to. So you're playing against different pairings as well on D. So yeah, part of it is Johnny played a good game the last game. He's a playmaker, and he made the others around him. He gave them a chance to produce. We didn't necessarily finish, but he was moving his feet. He won a lot of his battles. So he's on the right track. But part of it is, yes, Johnny, obviously, but also the team and how we're going to manage and balance the lines.
For someone as inexperienced as Voronkov, he's obviously grasping a lot of what's going on around him. What are you emphasizing to him to have success right now as he continues to learn and kind of feel his way through some things? How are you coaching him? What are you emphasizing to Voronkov?
Did you speak to Voronkov?
I did not.
Yeah, me neither.
Just let him go.
He doesn't speak the language. So we have a few translators on the team, but no, I mean, I'm just kidding here, obviously. But he's a real smart guy. For a guy that doesn't say, he says a few words, right? Just a few words. Good morning, maybe, and thank you. But really smart guy. And he's figuring out this league really quick. Obviously, he's a big, mean guy. He doesn't mind the physical. If you look at the last game, he went after Trouba, defended Fantilli. He went with the tough guy in Montreal. He can do that, and that's in him. He's got a lot of deception with his hands. He's got better hands. He loves to be net front. He does a good job at it, but what I'm trying to say is he's a real smart guy. For him to figure out the systems the way he's doing it without speaking the language. I'm honest. I didn't have a full conversation with him. I can't. There's nothing unless we have Marchenko or Provorov or those guys around. So for him, it's first of all, it was the conditioning. The NHL is a different animal. So he came here. He didn't know. He didn't know what it takes to be in the physical condition to play at this level. He took care of that in no time. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and that was it. He's ready to go. He can play center, he can play wing, but his ability to read the system or to execute the system is really fascinating. Again, for a guy that doesn't speak the language. So for him, we want him to be a power forward, but he's got skills. He can, he's not afraid to get into the rough stuff. But that our message for him is right now is we're just trying to observe and figure out what he's going to become in this league. But so far, he's been very impressive.
Can you talk about Jack Roslovic's performance on Sunday, especially given that he stayed on the ice after getting hurt?
So I'm talking about playoff hockey. Again, I understand what you think or what you may think, but that's playoff hockey. Blocking that shot and staying in the line. I mean, if the guy has a broken leg, that's a different story. He was in pain, couldn't walk after the game, but he stayed in the lineup and he finished the game and he had a real solid game for us. To me, that's the type of identity we want to create here. So Jack has been playing really good for us. He's been playing at center. He started the season in some kind of a bubble. Not sure if we're going to keep him, what's going to happen with him, center, wing, first line, healthy scratch, fourth line. We didn't know, so we gave it to him, took the ball and ran. So we're going to miss this guy. He's going to be out for a few weeks, but he's been very, very good for us.
Thank you.